All right, folks, welcome back. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a good week. I've had a day, maybe two, without a video. Probably just one. I've had allergies flaring up, other things happening. Managed to lose power for a couple of hours the other day, and then lost internet as well during all of the fun of this week. So I've been reading. One of the great things is I can read uh, pretty much anywhere I want because I've got plenty of ways to have light. But I wanted to give an update. I know I've given several updates on the planned history series, and unfortunately, as I am prone to do sometimes, I lost my notebook. I probably had 10 pages worth of notes, which would have been probably 2 videos, maybe 3, but I've managed to lose my spiral notebook. So, I have started over. I've been going a couple of days, making my notes. The one thing I'll tell you is I'm one of those people, I'm a tactile learner. That's my notes, and that's probably a good 2 to 3 chapters of a book. I don't write out everything. I tried that when I was in college, and aside from getting hand cramps and realizing very quickly that everything on the screen and everything in the handouts was not on the test, I quickly developed my own style where it's a combination of shorthand and non-English. The words are in English, but there's no structure of sentences or anything. I know what I need. So that's good because I'm back to probably 5 or 6 pages in the last 24 hours. I was hoping I could find my notebook and continue on, but I've given up on that. If I find it, great. I'll tear those pages out and use it for something else. I will tell you, because primarily I'm using this book, but I'm using that book for a timeline. For example, finding out in this year this happened at this place. I then go to my other books to add information to that so that I have my multiple sources and I have my cross-checked everything. It's just something I prefer to do, especially when putting together something like this, as I would for a class. I'm hopeful that I'll get back to where I feel I've got enough notes to take notes 1 or 2 days a week and stay ahead of the curve. I will not be posting daily for this series. I'm going to start it off basically as I would have been teaching had I been hired by my first choice of high schools back in 2011 when I was applying to them, which uses a collegiate schedule. I would have taught history on Tuesday, Thursday, government and economics on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just because you have a lot more people that need government and economics, because there were more than one history teacher, but I was the only one certified for social studies, although I'm not a coach, and they finally just decided to divvy it up. So I'm going to be going a slower schedule. I'm not going to treat this 100% like a class. There will not be a syllabus. I'm not going to be directly going to any one source. I will put the ISBNs of all of the books I'm using in every video description so that if you want them, you can definitely go find them. Some of them are hard to find. I know one of them is actually a textbook, and it took me 6 months to track down a copy. Others, like this, or the politically incorrect, or as they call them, pig guides, politically incorrect guides, the pig books, you can find those at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, Half Price Books, any of them pretty much. Amazon has them all, I believe. And I love those because they break things down into simple English. And that for me helps me flesh out my outline notes that I then flesh out from those into detailed notes. So I did want to give an update. I'm trying to stay away from the news right now because on one hand, it is a broken record. It's all the same thing over and over and over. And I'm tired of it. But on the other part of it is, because of that, I feel I should stay away because I don't want to just fan the flames, stoke the fire back to a roaring bonfire, and just prolong things. I'm not in any way saying to just move on. I would never say that when any crime has happened. But the people involved are being prosecuted. And I believe one of them has made bail. If he skips out, to me, that's as good as an admission of guilt. And he should be tried in absentia. If you skip bail, you become a fugitive from the law, and you should be tried in absentia and then brought back to face the sentence. If you're not willing to be in court to let others speak against you, then you give up your right to speak for yourself. The other part is, and I talked about this in another video, all of the demands are for things that are already in place. It's much like many other things that have been demanded. You know, we need better gun control laws. No, you just need better enforcement of the laws on the books. Okay, the AR-15 is not an assault rifle. It is not a machine gun. It is not a fully automatic in any way. If you modify it to be that, it becomes a machine gun. And if you're not licensed for that, you're screwed. And the people who are licensed for that are the ones who do it for demonstration purposes, basically. They're not going to be selling them. So we don't need more laws. We need to enforce the laws that are on the books. I don't agree with qualified immunity completely. There are times when certain things happen that you can't avoid, okay? If you have a situation like, we'll go with Charlottesville several years ago, and had the city government and police actually done their jobs, they should have rolled in and just arrested everyone. They don't need to roll in and start cracking heads and pepper spraying people. Just roll in and arrest everyone. And then when you're found to have not been violent, not broken any laws, you're released with an apology. And on the one hand, the police need to be able to be confident they're not going to be sued for wrongful arrest when there's no way in that situation to know who's doing what. Or if they just detain you, you know, they show up, everybody sit down, and people who start running or doing other things, they get taken in. It's not harassment. It's the ones who do quietly sit down and obey us, they're the ones we don't have to worry about. On the other hand, this crap of, you know, we're going to roll in and crack heads and pepper spray everybody and roll in with the water cannon, I don't agree with that because you catch everybody. There have been videos of cops slashing tires and breaking car windows. And, of course, they say it's, well, we don't want them jumping in it and running people over. Well, you know, station cops around and watch for people doing that. You don't just destroy property. They should not be immune from prosecution for vandalism and damage of property. If somebody comes up and says, why'd you slash my tires? I was parked in front of my apartment. And when cops say, well, it was a riot, we thought somebody might use it to attack us. No, I was parked in front of my apartment. But that isn't what's being demanded. What's being demanded is get rid of cops or defund cops or, you know, we need to make sure they have a duty to intervene. They do have a duty to intervene. It's called enforce the law. Murder is illegal. Someone kneels on someone's neck, then maybe that person should be stopped by the other cops around them. It's that simple. What they're saying needs to be done. You know, we need more training. Well, yeah, it's already required to take training. Maybe start making departments prove that they actually send their officers to training instead of saying, well, just do more training. Makes no sense. Okay, you're not saying this should be done. You're saying we just want to say it and put it on paper. It's the same insanity as Harris and the rest of her ilk demanding a vote on an anti-lynching law. Lynching is the act of murdering someone, generally by hanging. Murder is already illegal. So they're demanding a law be passed to make illegal what is already illegal. It's quite literally saying, well, we need to pass a law saying you have to obey the speed limit signs. Well, we do have that law. It's called you get a speeding ticket. We need maturity and common sense back in the halls of government at every level. I'm starting with history in this series because I truly believe the old adage, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Those of us who do learn from history are doomed to get dragged along through the same mistakes by everyone who did not learn from history. So, quite honestly, you're going to see something a lot like this behind me. I don't know that I'll be able to find, period accurate photos of Jamestown or of Lexington and Concord or the Appalachian Mountains in the 1500s. If I find something like that that's useful, I may put a map behind me when we get to the Civil War or the War of 1812 and all the rest of those. Definitely when we get to D-Day, I'll have a map behind me and I'll be sitting about right here. Unfortunately, I don't have a way yet to have the green screen be live behind me to where what I'm seeing here is what you're seeing here. I'm looking for that, but I don't know that I can afford that kind of software yet. Pardon me. If I do find something like that, that would be one of the best for me to be able to go down. Over here you see this, and over here you see this, and over there you see that. Much like you have the weatherman do. This is the part of me that's the tech geek. I've grown up on tech, and I love it. And learning new things is just, I love that kind of thing. So, I hope you stick around. Definitely tell your friends. I am not, by any means, going to pretend that I am an expert or I'm the only one you should listen to. I didn't pretend that when I was in a classroom teaching. It's very simple. I went to college and I got a degree in history. My friends who went to college got degrees in engineering or mathematics or English or kinesiology or any of a number of other things. I have friends who went on to become veterinarians at zoos. So everyone has a subject they've studied more than other people have studied it. My philosophy of being a teacher is I'm here to get you to ask questions. When I talk about John Smith and the Powhatan people and Pocahontas, I'm not telling you, this is all you need to know. Never going to tell you that. The day you stop learning is the day you start dying. If I find a book that I love on an aspect of what I'm talking about, like this one, I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to give you the ISBN. Books are one of my favorite things on the planet, in the world. Can't talk right now, sorry. But when I talk about John Smith and Pocahontas, and when I talk about Lexington and Concord, and when I talk about any other thing, what I'm trying to do is give you the overview of American history, going as far back as Columbus up through present day. I can't give you all of the information, but the questions, the discussion, the debate, that is what takes it further. And I can already tell you, I will be making videos based on questions I get asked on previous videos. There are times when I will go back and I'll look at what I've posted, put up, and like the video before this, where it's revisiting an old discussion, and I talk about Heinlein and Orwell. There are times when I realize I've done something and I have made new discoveries from rereading things, or I realize I didn't talk about something. And honestly, that is pretty common. I like to read and reread and reread and reread. So as I read and reread this book and those books, these books, I'm going to come to new conclusions, and I'm going to think of things in a different way. And that will prompt more content that I hope you'll enjoy. But as always, I need to know what you think. I need to know what your questions are, what your thoughts on the subjects that I cover are. So as always, and I'm going to say it in every video, be civil when you comment. We're here to discuss, dissent, and debate, not scream and act like toddlers. As always, please like the video and share it so we widen the conversation. And make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you're aware of all content, and so that you're part of the giveaway at 500, 1,000, and 1,500 subscribers. Until next time, have a wonderful day.